Let's look at the grip of slavery. And let me read for us John chapter 8, verses 32 to 34 and verse 37, and you can follow along in your Bibles. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. They answered him, we are Abraham's descendants and have never been slaves of anyone. How can you say that we shall be set free? Jesus replied, very truly I tell you, everyone who sins is a slave to sin. Verse 37, I know that you are Abraham's descendants, yet you are looking for a way to kill me because you have no room for my word. This is a very interesting conversation because of what Jesus did not say. Jesus didn't say, what on earth are you talking about? Because they said, we are Abraham's descendants and have never been slaves of anyone. And Jesus could have said, are you serious? For 400 years, you were slaves in Egypt. And then 40 years of wandering in the desert. You came to the promised land. You were overrun by your neighboring countries for decades and centuries. And then, because of disobedience, Assyria came over and captured Israel. And then 100 years later, because of disobedience again, Babylonian Empire came over and they took people from Judah to exile. And then there was the Persian Empire. And then during the intertestamental period, there was the Greek Empire, started by Alexander the Great. And then as they are talking to Jesus, they are being ruled by the Roman Empire. But Jesus doesn't say that because he understands what they meant. You see, they were talking about pedigree. They said, we are Abraham's descendants, so even if we are slaves, we will not bow down. That is their attitude. They were talking about an ancestry. Abraham is our father, and they were proud in being Jewish. Jesus recognized their ancestry, but focused on their character, and that's why he says in verse 37, I know you are Abraham's descendants, yet you are looking for a way to kill me. You may be Abraham's descendants, but you don't have Abraham's faith. That's why you're looking to kill me. You see, in the Christian faith, pedigree doesn't matter. In the Christian faith, ancestry doesn't matter. The thing that matters is character. And Jesus talks here about sin and being slaves to sin. Alex Murdaugh was a lawyer from a family with probably the best pedigree for 100 years in South Carolina. But that doesn't matter, does it? As a result of his character and his actions, he is sitting in jail for 2 consecutive life sentences without parole. The contemporary concept of freedom is interesting. We think we are free if we are free to do whatever we want. We think we are free if we are free to do whatever we want. Freedom of an unrestrained self. If there are no rules around me, I am completely free. We think that is freedom. In their 1985 song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, British band Tears for Fears writes these words, it's my own desire, it's my own remorse. Help me to decide, help me make the most of freedom and of pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to rule the world. Help me make the most of freedom and of pleasure. We think that freedom means having the most of pleasure, the freedom to do whatever we want. But Jesus says that if we are under the control of our desires, we are not free, we are slaves. Let me ask you a question. Is there a sin that you have regretted doing and yet repeated? Is there a sin that you have regretted doing and yet you went ahead and repeated it? You see, ladies and gentlemen, if there's even one sin like that, we are slaves of that sin, because that sin has a power over us that we don't want to do it and we yet keep doing it.